All right. Well, welcome everyone and good evening. Welcome to our Zoom that is the play that works. My name is Bryon Jaymes. I'm an independent prover with the company Prüvit. And I, Bryon Jaymes, am a grateful, loving, serving, powerful coach, leader, legend that encourages, inspires, multiplies, and leads others from the front. I am a champion and I prove it every day. So, how many of you have followed up with your N8 statements to at least 5 people today? I would highly encourage you to continue with that. Why? Because the more I say it, the more I believe it, and the more I'm able to manifest each and every one of those things that I know for a fact that I want to be, that I am becoming, and that I will continue to work on. So, super excited, and let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off. So, we're going to talk about here a little bit, just very quickly, of the bigger picture, the why behind the play that works. Kind of all this stems from a late night debrief that we were doing with BU, and it was late. I think it was after our Saturday night session, and after that Saturday night session, we had a debrief that started around, I think, 9:30, and it did not wrap up until about 2:30 a.m., and it was because through this process of debrief, we were just talking about what can we do to create, what can we do to inspire the biggest and most massive growth that we've had to date. Because I think for any of you that were there at this event at Keto Academy and more, I think most of you experienced what I experienced, which is the most special event that I've ever, the most incredible environment and atmosphere I've ever been in to date. It was incredible. Obviously, Thursday, your belief for the product and our technology and how we lead with education in the marketplace, it was unbelievable. There were people that literally at Keto Academy had major breakthroughs, which was just so cool, and more hadn't even started yet. Then we went through more where we had a chance to work on our own personal power, to take that belief in our technology and our company and what we have and translate that and transmute that energy into our own personal power. For all of us that work with Joseph McClendon, here's what I want you to understand. That environment and the work that was done on you and for you and to you is so powerful, but it's only powerful if you continue to embrace it and you continue to put it into action. I was challenged, trust me, I was challenged a lot personally at this event to be able to take action on a lot of the things that I learned. Sometimes, even myself, I get caught up in just going through the motions. I'm committed to my N8 statement. I'm committed to sending it out, and it's been awesome because I've been getting these N8 statements all day, but continue to work on and continue to pursue your own personal power. That event on Friday was about you, and continue to build and work on yourself. And then obviously we moved into just more development. It was just an overall incredible event. But the breakthrough occurred when you understand that if everyone is on the same page, if we can all focus on one simple action, one simple message that will resonate through the community, that will create a higher level of awareness in this movement, it can absolutely change everything. We're seeing individuals that get started now because of how much validation there is out there in the marketplace, because of what we've done, because of what each and every one of you have done out there in the marketplace. The awareness is starting to really catch on. So how do we take that? How do you start off brand new? Or how do you start off right now, maybe just kind of reinventing yourself, and you want to take massive action. You want to get yourself to the levels in which a lot of those individuals that you had an opportunity to hear from this weekend, you want to put yourself in the same position that they're in. Well, how do you do that? You get everyone on the same page. We all need to be held accountable to our action through our daily method of operation. If you will focus on your daily method of operation, I promise you, it will compound day after day, and it will put you in an incredible position to start building and creating a community. So what is that one play? And I want to very quickly get to that, because many of us, and you don't realize it, but we've been working on as a community here for probably 9 months now on one play that works. It's the same play over and over and over again. And I want you to think bigger. I want you to think bigger picture. Why is it so powerful that we all follow one simple play? Why? Because when someone gets started, trust me, they have a lot of disempowerment, or they have beliefs that unfortunately do not empower them. We have limiting beliefs that unfortunately keep us from moving forward and continuing to do what we know we need to do each and every day to accomplish the outcomes that we've set for ourselves. So for all of you, here's what I would encourage you. Number one, if you don't have goals moving forward from right now, you need to set goals. You have got to have a goal. Why? Because here's what I promise you. You will never hit the goal, or you'll never hit the outcome or get the outcome of what you first don't establish. So set goals for yourself. What is it that you truly want? Some of you in here have set goals when you started this endeavor, but you've already hit those goals. Now you need to reinvent yourself. What's the next level of goal in which you want to accomplish? The second is don't come into even this Zoom right now without establishing first an outcome. What is it that you hope to get out of this? What is it that you want to get out of this? It all ultimately feeds back into your goals. So establish your goals, establish your outcomes, incredibly important. Next is, why do we want to be on the same page? It's so that we can replicate a very simple process, and it doesn't matter who we're on the phone with, who we're having a conversation with. It's one simple message that allows us to continue to get this message out there very quickly and get it out there at a level which can be replicated over and over and over and over again. Now, you can't duplicate a person, but you can replicate a simple action. So we're going to go through that. So here's what I want everybody to do. Go to your pulse, and I want you to pull up on your pulse the Go, Go, Go playbook, right? So I want you to go pull that up real quick. And in that playbook, it's going to start with watch. And with watch, it is our approach, because one thing that we have to all get good at is our approach. But here's what you have to understand. Our approach is very, very simple. So what is our approach? Well, we first have to understand that there's an inbound and an outbound. So when you get started, you have, and please let me kind of set the framework for this. Oh my goodness. It's like Halloween already. That's crazy. Hold on, let's mute out here. And do me a big favor. If you notice that you're coming off mute, if you could do that, that would be awesome. Okay, cool. So go to your playbook. First is we have to understand, and this is going to be the foundation of our new Prover 101 moving forward. So I want everyone to understand, when you're getting somebody started as a Prüvit promoter in our community, every Thursday and Sunday night are going to be absolutely instrumental. So are the recordings for that are going to be instrumental, because this is now what the new Prover 101, this will be the foundation, this will be the application of the new Prover 101 moving forward. So I want all of you to really pay attention to that and make it part of something that make sure you filter and lead everyone into that. So here we go. The Go, Go, Go playbook. Number one is watch, right? So first we have to establish there's inbound and there's outbound. How does that occur? That's the first thing we have to ask ourselves. Outbound are messages that you're sending out to people. So if you were at the event, Bryon Underwood on stage was there. He not only challenged us, but he challenged himself. You had our CEO sitting there, sending out messages, asking people, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? And here's what's awesome. That challenge came from association. At 2:30 at night, myself, Natalie Kilborn, Michael Rutherford, Mitch Newman, Dustin Schaefer, Bryon Underwood, we challenged each other in that environment. Why are we not prospecting more? Why are we not approaching more? Why are we not keeping ourselves accountable to doing more, to having more of these conversations? Because guys, understand this. The only reason that I sit here and the only reason I'm able to speak to you today is because Bryon Underwood picked up his phone. At that time, I think it was unconscious competence. Meaning he didn't even know necessarily what he was doing at the time in order to gain a result. What was he doing? He said Bryon Jaymes. He said somebody that in his life at the time was in freaking debt, that was searching for more in his life, that was in a sense searching for significance. I wanted to be part of something bigger. I wanted more out of my life. And in order for me to tap into that outcome, in order for me to accomplish the goals that I had set for myself, it came to me in the form of a text message that literally said, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? ? Now, for any of you that have followed and any of you that have been with me for the last 2.5 years, my life has drastically changed in the last 2.5 years because of one simple message. One simple message. He didn't beat around the bush. He didn't say blah, 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 blah. I'm sitting here today and I've been able to do and accomplish the things I've been able to accomplish over the last 2.5 years because of a man, a human being, having a vision, sending me a message that said, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? So what do you think I've done since I've been here? I've only run one play that works, but here's what you have to understand. If you start understanding your competence, I was unconsciously competent, meaning I was replicating a simple action in order to get a result, and I didn't even understand and realize the power of it. And I was allowing myself to confuse others, letting them think there's multiple ways that you can do this. Well, there are multiple ways that you can get a result, but here's the key. When it comes to group dynamics, when you put a team of people together, it's about what can everyone collectively come together in order to replicate a very simple process over and over and over again to get massive results. And I mean massive results. If things are simple, you can act on them, and you can act on them over and over and over again. You can gain more confidence. You can gain more power in taking a simple action over and over and over and over again. So that is why I'm here today. So Brian Underwood sent Bryon Jaymes an outbound message that said, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? So the first explanation is outbound, messages that you're sending. You're going out and creating awareness by sending a message. Or inbound messages, right? How do inbound messages take place? Well, they happen in multiple ways. They happen to be you sitting there, beside someone drinking your ketones, and somebody asks you, hey, what is that, right? Or you posted something on Facebook, or you shared a post from the Prüvit Facebook page, and someone asks you, hey, Joshua, hey, Letitia, hey, Megan, hey, Martin, hey, Courtney, hey, Ashley, hey, Renee, hey, Elizabeth, hey, Nina, what is that? What does that mean? I was about to say, what do you mean by ketones and ketosis? Not yet. They're asking you, what are you drinking? What is that post about? What are ketones about? What was that message you just sent? Blah, 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 blah. So obviously there's two different ways to start with that conversation of what do you know about ketones and ketosis? It's inbound or it's outbound, right? Most of you, when you start, a majority of your action should be outbound. The more outbound that you create, the more inbound that will take place. I promise you that. So what is step number one? What is that outbound message? Everyone right now should be referring to your Pulse app and the Go, Go, Go playbook. Here it is. First example. Hey, Abigail, as a trainer and or mom, or both together, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Now let me break this down for you real quick, okay? Because we have things that we call lists, right? I break it down into 3 simple categories. You don't have to break it down that way. It's completely up to you. I look at it as an A list, a B list, and a C list. What is an A list? An A list is people that you know, people that you're familiar with, people that you see on a weekly basis, people that you talk to consistently, people that know everything about you. You wouldn't say, so for instance, let me give a good example. My mom, or Nicholas Couch, or in this case, Abigail Klutz. Those individuals I knew prior to Prüvit. So I wouldn't say, hey, Abigail, as a trainer and as a mom, I would just say, I literally just send the message, hey, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Why? Because I already know them, right? I don't need to create any bit of relatability because I already have the ultimate, connection and relatability and credibility, maybe not credibility, but relatability with that person. So in this case, Abigail, I sent her a message and said, hey, Abigail, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Nick, I sent him a message. What do you know about ketones and ketosis? Some of those were my initial individuals that I reached out to. Why does Brian add in, or why would you add in, hey, the name? I would always encourage you to use the name. It makes it personal and less canned. And secondly, their background. Who are they? Are they a stay-at-home mom? Are they a corporate executive? Are they a trainer? Are they an Uber driver? Are they whatever? But the point is it creates a sense of connection. It creates a sense of relatability. So that would apply for Brian to his B list and his C list. My A list is defined as people I know very, very, very well, right? I don't need to preface that message. My B list are people that I know of and know of me. I would preface it. Josh Nelson, Josh and I went to church together. I knew Josh through conversation. We slowly started developing a relationship. However, we'd gone to the gym a few times together. I said to Josh, hey, Josh, as a prior fitness competitor, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Because I wanted to make it more of a personal connection. I would also say that to a C-list person. What's a C-list person? The C-list person is someone that you don't know. It's everybody else out there in the world. It's very important that you do not send them a canned message, and you try to create as much through one simple message. You still try to create as much connection and relatability as possible. How do you do that? Their name and their profession or their background. So, hey, Abigail, as a personal trainer and a mom, what do you know about ketones and ketosis ? These are just little hacks along the way. Please remember, though, it's the same dang message. What do you know about ketones and ketosis ? Right? Everybody track. Give me a big thumbs up if you're tracking so far. Beautiful. Okay. Now, I add little tips and tricks in here along the way. The key is that in a world where everything is instant and everything is very impersonal, I myself try to pursue relationship and connection as much as humanly possible. So whenever I get a chance, sometimes I don't because I'm in a place that's noisy or I'm sitting in on something that, is boring or whatever. And sometimes I do need to make that text message. But anytime that I can, because we have technology now that gives us the ability to use our voice, I will say, hey, Courtney, and I'll literally use the voice messenger because now on the iPhone, you can send a voice text. Now on Facebook Messenger, you can send a voice text. Point is that if they can hear my voice, if they can hear my directness, if they can hear my confidence, I want to make sure that I exude that in any opportunity that I get. So I'm saying, hey, Josh, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? I'm using my voice to create more connection, more relatability. Is this making sense? Yes? Give me a big yes if it is. Okay. Awesome. So other ways to start the ketone conversation, other little examples on there. Great. You can use that in creating more inbound, right? There's a really great social media 101 that Katie Rollins did. We'll make sure we continue to recycle that week in, week out, because I know a lot of you are new and just getting started this conversation. A lot of you want to create more awareness, and a lot of you want to create more validation out there through your own personal actions, right? Through social media and other platforms. You can simply do that. And there's other little tips and tricks and things that we've added here for you to be able to start that conversation and create more interest out there in the market. So how does this apply before we move on to step number 2? Well, as soon as I left this event, when we got in the car, we got in on the way to the airport, my wife and I, with an Uber driver, and he started asking us questions. I started asking him, hey man, how's your day? Hey, it's good, how's yours? He asked me how long we've been here. I've been here for, since last Monday. He said, oh, what were you here for? Well, we're actually here for an event. Oh, awesome. What was it about? Well, I said, funny you ask. I said, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Literally. And he said, oh, I think it's kind of, I've kind of heard in that kind of like a diet or whatever. And I said, yes and no. I said, I tell you what, if I send you a 4-minute video, will you watch it and let me know if it makes sense? Literally, that's what I said. And then I changed the subject. Why? Because I am sticking to the simple play that works. Boom, boom, boom. And we'll get into that for a second. But check this out. I go from there to the next thing that I did is we were at the Sky Club Lounge, the Delta Sky Club Lounge. And I was up talking to the bartender. I was getting a club soda. And I was asking, or I forget what he said. He said, hey, man, where are you coming from? I said, coming from Las Vegas. He said, oh, really? He said, what were you doing there? I said, I was at an event. He said, oh, really? What was the event about? I said, hey, man, have you ever heard of ketones and ketosis? He said, dude, he said, I am a freaking Joe Rogan disciple. He said, I just listened to the Dr. Dom D'Agostino 3-hour plus podcast. He said, dude, I freaking love biohacking. I love ketosis. He said, and I know he was talking about exogenous ketones, which I've never tried before. I said, oh, really? And here's what's funny. The moment he said that, the girl that was waiting in line beside me, said, oh my gosh, did you mention bulletproof? And I said, oh, just happened to do that. And I was giving him a sample of our ketones to shake up right there. And I was giving him a 143. She said, oh my gosh, I just saw that 143 and just sent it to my girlfriend. I just saw it on Instagram. I'm like, you mean you saw it on Instagram within the last like 3 days, considering it would have never been on Instagram before that? And she said, yes. She's like, I always have these packs and, the other stuff out there is not that good. But the point is, I said, really? I said, so are you familiar with ketones and ketosis? She said, very familiar. She said, I just set a world record for playing the highest altitude game of soccer in the world for women. She literally just played a game of soccer on, check this out, Mount Kilimanjaro. Where was Bryon and Nancy Underwood just a month ago, 2 months ago? Mount Kilimanjaro. It's freaking awesome. But how did all that happen? Because somebody asked me where I was going and somebody asked me what I was doing. And I said, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? That's all that I say. It's so easy. And I have so much confidence because I say it over and over again. And it was validated this weekend because I will be very transparent with you. Sometimes I say different things. And sometimes when I say different things, I confuse my damn self. I don't need to be confused anymore because I'm not going to say anything else ever because I don't care to say anything else ever. And here's what's funny. The same process that I followed with them is the same process that they're going to confidently, because I'm going to tell you, it was literally 3 for 3 with all within a couple hours. You better believe that one of those is going to be a big impact player right here in this platform. And it all started with, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Everybody tracking with me still? That's how simple it is. It does not get any more complicated than that. So for those of you that say, well, Bryon, how should I send out messages? Who cares? Make a big mess. Well, Bryon, how many of these do I send out? Who cares? It's up to your outcome. It's up to your goal. Some of you are asking, well, how do I keep track of all these messages? You don't. You freaking don't. You just do. You make such a big freaking mess that people follow back up with you because they're so intrigued and so excited about what you have your hands on. Right? So don't worry about, Confucius say, don't worry about a problem that you do not yet have. Stop, right? Go. Anyone that's ever worked with me personally getting started, Josh Nelson will tell you this because I'm looking at his face right now. Hey man, how do I do it? You go make a big mess, dude. You make a big freaking mess. You have a great big outcome. You have a great big goal. Great. Well, then go make a big freaking mess. Go make a big mess, right? So here we go. Don't get caught up in the details because, guys, the details don't matter. Let's go into step number 2. Continuing outbound message or pick up with an inbound message. Remember, if somebody's asking me, hey, Bryon, what was that video about? Or, hey, Bryon, I noticed you blah, blah, blah. I'm going right back to, hey, so you have heard of ketones and ketosis, right? And I'm still reiterating that question. And my next question is, hey, if I send you a 4-minute video, will you watch it and let me know if it makes sense? That's it. Or the next option, watch this and let me know if it makes sense. And the reason that I'm saying that is all dependent on how much conversation I've had prior to. Sometimes, for instance, in the Uber drive or in the Uber ride, he was just, that dude was so excited I could not get him to stop asking me freaking questions. But I kept deflecting. I kept damning directional awareness marketing. I kept damning the 101 video. I said, great. I said, I can answer a lot of those questions once you watch that video. Now, I did happen to give him a couple samples on the way out, right? So him and I got more familiarity. And I said, hey, dude, I'm going to send you a video. So in this case, I didn't have to say, hey, if I send you a 4-minute video, he wanted it. He wanted it bad. So I said, hey, dude, watch this. Let me know if it makes sense, okay? Very, very simple. It's just a very simple switch in language. So what do? You send the campfire video via your Experience Keto link. That's all you do. So my message very simply looks like this. If I send you a 4-minute video, will you watch it? Let me know if it makes sense. And then I put a little dash and I put my Experience Keto link where they are going to be directed directly to the campfire video. For those of you, quick disclaimer, for those of you that think the campfire video is too cartoonish or too simple, here's what I'm going to say. You are getting in your own head. You're getting in your own way. I've sent it to doctors. I've sent it to brain surgeons. I've sent it to some of the most educated people on the planet. And even those super educated people say, oh my gosh, why was I not explaining it that simple before? Oh my gosh, why did I not think to turn, simple, super complicated science into a simple cartoon video? Trust me this. Every person that watches that video is going to understand the simplicity of it. Those that are incredibly smart are going to really appreciate the simplicity of it. It gets across a simple message. Do you guys understand that one of the #1 online marketers on the planet created that video? Do you know how that video was created? Out of him researching the top 3 searches in all of health and wellness, all of health and fitness. What are they? Energy, fat loss, focus. Energy, fat. Now, on the side of the box, we understand there are a whole lot more benefits of ketones. Don't get caught up in that. Stick with energy, fat loss, focus. Plus, it keeps you away. By the way, we always want to be compliant. We want to stay away from medical claims. We want to stay away from things that will compromise our company, our movement, and the things that we're doing with our technology. So trust me, even a person that's having all of these issues, which we're not going to mention here, anyone that's having a lot of issues, trust me, they're all about energy, fat loss, and focus. Now, when they start experiencing all those other amazing, crazy benefits that we can't talk about, it's just even going to make that experience, it's under promising and over delivering, which I promise you is a really, really great thing. So now we move on to the next one, which is number 3. After the video, and guys, I can read you message after message after message after message. If I come into your local market, 9 times out of 10, if we huddle up, what am I doing? You guys will know exactly what I do. I sit down and I give you my last 10 interactions with the last 10 people that I've talked to. And it's so funny because all of y'all think that I send something different, or because I've been around ketones for 2.5 years that I talk more about it. I don't. I talk less about it. The more I learn, the less I say. The more I learn, the less I say. The more I know, the less I say. So key. If you didn't get that, God help you, okay? So step number 3. After that, I simply ask them, would you like to try a 5-day experience for $30 or whatever you charge, whatever it is in your market? It's a freaking detail, people. How do I collect the payment? Who cares? You just freaking do. Cash, check, PayPal, Facebook message. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. The point is that you do. You take the simple action. So do you want a 5-day experience for $30 or a 10-day experience for $60? I let them know this will give you an opportunity to try the different flavors and versions before you commit to a 20-day or more experience. I'm setting the expectation. Guys, you have a technology. It's like, I know this is a car. If I'm a car salesman and I can get you in that car for a test drive, my percentage of ability to be able to get you to buy that car goes way up. Could you imagine if every car dealership gave you the car for 5 to 10 days? Right? For a small little fee, you get that car for 5 to 10 days. Oh yeah. Why? Because you get to park it in your garage. You get to take it and clean it off. You get to wake up in the morning, right? When you're at your most excited point and get in that thing, you smell the new leather 5 straight days in a row. Here's what I know. After having an experience for 5 to 10 days, the likelihood of transitioning that person into a customer or a promoter and a raving fan of this technology goes way, way up. That's why the 5 and 10-day experience is so important. They get to taste, they get to touch, they get to feel, they get to have a personal experience. Now, why do we offer them 2? We offer them 2, it's simple psychology. 9 times out of 10, when I ask somebody if they want a 5 or 10 day, throw up your hands real quick and let me know what you think. A majority of the time, 90% of the time, what they go for. Let's see it. You better believe it. 2 hands, 10. Why? Because it's bigger. It's better. And I gave them a choice because I'd say, hey, would you like to try a 5-day experience for $30? What do they get to say? Yes or no. Hey, would you like to try a 5-day experience for $30 or a 10-day experience for $60? What do they have to choose from? 5 or 10, right? It's very simple psychology. So understand that you want to give them that option. They have the ability to execute on that option. Simple little tips along the way. For those of you that don't utilize the Hack magazine, you're crazy. And here's the reason why. Do you know how many more customers and promoters that I've got because that magazine goes to work for me over and over and over? Oh my gosh, this article was amazing. They share it with their mom. Oh my gosh, I was thinking about my brother who's starting UFC fighting. I thought about you gave it to him. It was sitting on the countertop and my friend that came over started reading it. What do you know? That magazine goes to work for you and over again. Bryon Jaymes, me personally, I send out a hacked magazine with every 5 or 10 day experience that goes out. Why? Because I like to work smarter, and working smarter is allowing that magazine and that simple $3, $4 magazine to go to work for me over and over and over again. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Tip number 2, in the process of following up through their 5 or 10 day experience or prior to setting that up, look at the benefits or send the picture of the benefits on the side of the box and ask them, hey, what of those benefits would be a game changer for you? You snap a picture of the side of the box. You keep that picture in your phone. Just like this. Hopefully all of you cut this and you paste it into the notes on your phone so you can refer to it. As you're doing your daily DMO and as you're walking people through this process, you can always pick back up to where guys, that's all I do every day. I start a new conversation, I go in, I take the material or I take the section that I need at the time and I insert it into the conversation. It's super simple. I can do it from anywhere. I can do it all the time. And I run the same play over and over and over again. So do you know why it's so easy for me to get teams of people started quickly and to get multiple teams started quickly? Because we're all running the same play. It's like football. If anyone watched Remember the Titans, you saw the coaches come in, and the other coach came in and he said, hey, I got a whole playbook here of some really cool trick plays and things you want to run. He said, I run 8 plays over and over and over again. He said, it's like Novocaine. He said, it works every time. Over and over and over. He said, I run the same plays over and over and over again. I love that movie, by the way. Okay, so here we go. Or into the or. If they've had a sample, because sometimes, like for some of you that were in Vegas, you got people, you were interacting with them. Some of you gave them your shaker bottle and they drank it right there. Some of them you mixed it up and they drank it right there. Your conversation maybe went a little bit more in depth. So if they already had an experience, like, you know, I've had ones where I sent somebody, you know, I gave somebody a sample of the product while we were there because they were inquiring. I asked, well, great, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? I gave them a sample right there. Dude texts me back and says, oh my gosh, I've had the most energy I've ever had in my life. The week before I went to Vegas, I had somebody moving furniture in here, the moving guy. I said, hey man, would you like a drink? And he's like, yeah man, what do you have? I said, ketones or ketones? I'm not giving him a freaking option. He doesn't get water. He doesn't get coffee. He doesn't get whatever. He gets ketones or ketones. So I mixed them up some ketones. Dude texts me back 5 hours later and said, what the heck did you get? He said it differently. What the heck did you give me? I said, ketones, bro. I said, it's so crazy right now. We're actually having a 22% off sale or whatever we were having at the time. And boom, I was able to execute. Why? Because he already had an experience, baby. So we were able to move him right in there. It's right on the playbook. It's the next step. It's the next step. There's nothing else to it. Very simple, right? There's an option in there that says go right into the NA Challenge. For some of you that don't know, the NA Challenge will be coming back to life again here very, very soon. And there's a really cool technology for some of you that had the opportunity to go through the labs. You saw the other new technologies that are coming out, and those new technologies are going to be all incorporated into the NA Challenge. Okay? Now, once they commit to a 5 or 10 day experience, I collect their money. I send them the actual product, or I take for me, I'm in Alaska. Okay? So if I meet somebody face to face, I can typically drop it off to them face to face. A lot of people I meet are in other parts of the country, so I have to mail it to them. If I have to mail it to them, I know it's going to take 3 to 5 days from where I'm at to get to them. So here's what I want to do. I want to set the expectation of what the product's going to do for them prior to them taking the product. How do I do that? There's 4 resources I use. Go right back to this. What are those 4 resources? The Hacker's Guide, which is going to help them have instructions on having a great experience. The FAQs to overcome any misconceptions they may have about the product. Keto University, the ultimate credibility with Dr. Andrew explaining all the other benefits and things to be able to hack your body. Number 4, the Prüvit Facebook page, which for some of you, homework that I would give you. If you were at the event, go back and watch all the videos. If you weren't at the event, go back and watch all the videos. We pump more content in the last 7 days than we've ever put out in a 1 week time period with our Prüvit Facebook page, and all of the content is insane. I would be saving those videos and cataloging those videos so that you can use them as validation in the future as you're talking with somebody that's a bodybuilder, as you're talking to somebody that's a doctor, as you're talking to somebody that won the Nobel Prize, okay? Good luck, right? If you're talking to come on, do you see the quality of people and the quality of content that we're putting out there? These things help move the product for you. They help validate it. They help set an expectation. We have a Ketones 101, which my wife Olivia does, setting product expectations that are amazing. After this Zoom, I will put out the 101 series so you can go back and review those things to help you have more confidence through this process. The next portion is connect, right? So how do we connect them? Super important, everyone. You add them to a 3-way message with your coach. Some of you are like, hey, Bryon, I could take somebody seamlessly through the process. That's great, but at some point, do you want to transition them from a raving fan to a player? Do you want to transition them from a customer to a coach, or excuse me, a customer to a player, a promoter? How do you do that? You bring somebody else into the conversation that can help validate and that can help give credibility everything that you have told them up until this point. We work better as a team, folks. We work better as we have each other's back through this process. A simple message to validate everything that you've been telling somebody. It's the power and it's the psychology of getting another person involved in the conversation. It is so big. That's why 3-way messaging, 3-way text messaging, 3-way group messaging, and 3-way calls are so important. It's just somebody else to come in and say the same damn thing that you just said. We need that as human beings, just so you know. We need it, okay? So it's so incredibly important. So I say on here, add them on a three-way message with your coach, Facebook Messenger or text. Ask, what of these on the side of the box are you starting to experience? So I'm just gonna ask them, hey, what are you starting to experience, man? Give me some feedback. What are you experiencing so far? Now, some of you are gonna add them to a message, and I'm gonna have a call here with the champions right after this to talk about how we can speed up the validation of this process and get people's businesses moving faster. But in the meantime, make sure that you're getting them connected in one way, shape, or form with your coach or somebody that you're working with that can validate everything that you've told them up until this point, right? Tip, add them to a three-way message or a call, because some of you that are trying to chase down a calendar, a time on a calendar, we live in the age of technology. Connect them on a message, get the initial stuff out of the way, and then as the conversation accelerates, you can now, hey man, you got time for a quick call? I've done it literally over 30 times today. I've been putting three-way message. Hey, awesome, man. Wow, that's amazing. Hey, do you have time to jump on a call real quick? Oh, awesome. And what do? I get them in and I pull them right back to the next step in the process. That's all I do. I'm just validating everything that's happened up until this point. Next step, plug them into a Ketones 101 to get a little bit more depth and knowledge on the product. It's just going to create more strength around the person's knowledge and around the person's confidence taking the product. Next step, have them like and browse the Prüvit Facebook page. Social credibility right now is absolutely paramount. Social credibility. Do you know how many champions? Do you know there are people making 6 figures a month right now that 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago saw our Facebook page and got excited about what was on there? So how important is it for you to continue to use that Facebook page with the individuals that you're coming in contact with on a daily basis? Right? We good? Next step is enroll. This is boom, boom, boom. Big, real quick, I want to help all of you understand this. There's a big difference between getting registered and getting started. You want to get people started. And you want to get them started properly. You want them to get strong right out of the gate. How do you do that? By running the same play. So, New Prover 101. What are they going to learn, by the way, on a New Prover 101? When you transition somebody from a customer to a promoter, how do I do that? That's another part of your third-party validation. If Josh gets me on the call with somebody, I'm following up on their experience. Oh my gosh, Bryon, I've had energy like crazy. I slept great last night. And dude, I went in the gym for literally an hour longer than I used to because I just couldn't stop working out. I felt so good. Oh my, that's awesome, man. So are you excited about continuing to experience these as you go on and transition into a 20+ day experience? Oh yeah, I definitely am. Well, here's what I want to let you know. Not only can you move on with that, but there's an opportunity actually, since you're having such a great experience, if you're willing to share that experience with at least 2 people that have and are excited about the same experience, you can actually get your product for free. But let me tell you this, Josh will tell you this too. Most people screw this up and they screw it up really bad. Why? Because a lot more than 2 people they talk to have a really great experience. And then if more than 2 people decide they want to experience this technology as well, we will actually, as a company, Prüvit will pay you for the value that you bring and the influence that you have. I'm setting the expectation and I'm planting the seed right now that, hey, let's take that freaking experience you just had and let's run with it. Let's freaking run with it. Let's turn it into free product, which is going to excite you. Let's turn that into creating a community and a heightened level of awareness for people in your community for better. Hey, that's the road to Prüvit, baby. That's the road to getting them started just like you did, to where you can start building a community, creating influence, establishing your outcomes, and crushing your freaking goals, right? How do you get them? When you get them on a New Prover 101, what are New Prover 101s going to be now? Going through this playbook. What happens if you can take somebody that just had a great experience on our technology, is followed up with a few days later, clicks the button to get started or is excited about getting started, you invite them onto a New Prover 101 and they learn how they can take immediate action on this conversation and immediately get results. Because here's what I know. You get somebody started and they send this message out to 10 people, they're going to get pumped up. Why? Because 50+% of those people are going to respond, and they're going to be able to take them through this process, and they're going to get excited. And that's how you have a business that goes from 0 to a bunch in a very short period of time. Every single person that's hit the circle, we're breaking Circle of Champions so fast right now because people are just sticking to this one play that works, okay? Wrapping it up here. Welcome call with your coach or sponsor. Why do I want to do that? Or excuse me, enroll with an experience pack. Once again, I'm going to let them know the value of the experience pack. I'm going to let them know, hey, when you start this conversation, the biggest thing you're going to need is 5 and 10 day experiences, right? Nicholas and Kelly Couch are going to do a training, a huddle here soon, just talking about how you can speed up the process. There's not too many people I know that move experience packs as well as they do. If I'm not mistaken, they moved over 600 servings of our new product within 12 hours of our event, of leaving our event just yesterday. And you got to learn how to do that. It's setting the right expectation through 5 and 10 day experiences. And do you know how they do it? They get people to start that one play now before they've even got their product. They don't even go on and click order for their product. They've already sent 10 messages and 5 people have responded with, yeah, I want some. Do you think that it's easier to get somebody to get an experience pack after they're already having results? You better believe they do, right? Next one, welcome call with a coach or sponsor. When you get somebody on a welcome call, they've just hit the button. They've just become a prover promoter. What am I doing? I want to get on the phone with them or on a message with them. I want to say, congratulations, welcome to the movement. What are your outcomes? What are your goals? What would you like to see out of this? Because I want to connect with that person. Remember, you have to learn to connect before you pull. I want to connect with that person, find out what their goals are so that I can use that as leverage to keep them on their daily method of operation, to keep them taking action, to keep their goals in front of them so that they'll continue to run this one simple play that works over and over and over again. Game plan, go challenge. How do you do that? You send the new prover, you send the go challenge, the pruvitnow.com/fast start. I want them to go, go, go. Do you guys ever know, do you know what go, go, go means? Go, 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 go means go pro, go MVP, and go all-star. It's the go challenge. Bryan's made it his motto. It's the foundation of what we do. How do you go legend in the rewards plan? How do you go legend? You go, go, go. You go pro, you go MVP, and you go all-star, and you turn around, you help somebody else do the exact same thing. Don't overcomplicate it. What do you know about ketones and ketosis and go, go, go? That's all you. If you're going to take anything from this Zoom, this huddle, that's all I want you to take. What do you know about ketones and ketosis and go, go, go? That's it. Enroll for the next event, right? Super important for all of you that, just experienced what we experienced this past 4 or 5 days, 6, 7, whatever the heck it was, days that I was in Las Vegas. What you experienced is special. And some of you had to have that experience in order to carry over and take the energy, excitement, and validation and get that out to other people. I promise you, some of you are kicking yourself in the butt because you didn't inspire harder someone else to get themselves there. Because I promise you, a lot of you have had bigger and better breakthrough than you've ever had in your life. And imagine if you just had a few more other people there to experience that same breakthrough with you. So we got to get good at that. When people are at an all-time high and excited, get them locked in for the next event. Then add them to your whatever, if you have a Facebook page or a Boxer group or whatever, add them into communication, add them into the community. This thing thrives on the inspiration and the success that the community is having. And when we put all of our successes together, it creates an incredible movement. So, and the last thing is set a goal of how many people you want or need to take through this process daily to achieve your goals. Every one of your DMOs are going to be different because they're going to match directly what it is you want as an outcome. They're going to match directly. So for some of you that want to, you have smaller goals, then just be consistent with 1 message a day. For those of you that have a little bit bigger goals, it's 5 a day. For those of you that wondered, oh my gosh, how did Sylvia Affey have the success that she had? Because her goals warranted, her outcome warranted 40 messages a day. And I kid you not. So this platform, our platform, can yield you whatever goals. I promise you, it will meet you at your goals. You just have to determine what your goals are. So in review, it's watch, connect, enroll. It's what do you know about ketones and ketosis, and it's taking them through the basic, simple steps. So I hope that helped everyone. And here's what I'm going to challenge you to do right here and now. Obviously, I explained a lot of the why behind it. When we do our new Prover 101 starting tomorrow night, it's going to be quick. It's going to be simple. It's going to be the big picture why, but then it's going to be bam, bam, bam. Follow this play that works. And then from now on, every huddle that we have, every time that we collect as a community, here's what we're going to do. We're going to inspire and we're going to challenge each other to action. So I have a challenge for each and every one of you right now. I challenge you to send that message, what do you know about ketones and ketosis, to 5 people before you go to bed tonight. Just 5, right? For those of you that are like, oh, I'm worried about what they're going to say, or I'm worried about whatever I'm just worried about, here's all you need to do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Go, go, go. Y'all are awesome, amazing. This will be recorded. It'll be sent out in the Pulse. Hopefully it helped. If you have any questions or any gaps, please send it out, but don't overthink it. Promise you keep it simple. It's one play that works. One simple play. Champions, we'll see you on the other Zoom here in just a few seconds.